Hey, check up. Let's play some D. Welcome to episode 25 of Play Some D with your host, as always, Coach D in the building. And today is a dandy, a grand old one. So today is 25 episodes ago back. What I thought every episode, podcast, whatever this is, as I always say, as I thought every episode would go, I thought it would be sports and music, mostly. Movies, TV shows, things of that nature. But mostly sports and music is how I pretty much thought this thing would roll. And today is sports and music, particularly the NFL. I'm gonna talk about the NFL team predictions, and I'm gonna talk about NFL player predictions. That's second half. First half is the highly anticipated Drake album review, Certified Lover Boy, and the Kanye West Donda album review. I'm pretty excited, so I'm not going to talk, ramble, or anything much longer. We know how the spiel goes. If you don't mind, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you know when these videos drizzop, play some D drizzops. But first half is all about album reviews, and to start the first quarter off, I'm going to start it with Drake Certified Lover Boy. For those that don't know, CLB is the abbreviation that everyone will be using when talking about this album. So I just went ahead and put that in my first quarter box up above. I'm never good at that point thing. Some people are just like they so good at it, but I'm just awful at it. So this was supposed to come out uh, January, and I'm pretty sure it had a lot to do with touring and uncertainty of things. And maybe he just wanted to mix it up. Maybe he just didn't feel well about the album. And I'm, you know, that's totally fine. So everyone knew it was coming. So it'd been nice to have it in January, but beggars can't be choosers. So we get it on September 3rd. This is his sixth studio album, and it has a plethora of features: Little Baby, The Giveon, Jay Z's on here, Young Thug, 21 Savage, Rick Ross, Kid Cudi, Lil Wayne. Um, I'm not going to speak too much on what the theme and things of that nature are, but I'll first say that I do think this is a solid album. I can't. I will do. I didn't do. So I recently did a Kanye ranking system because I didn't think Donda would ever be released. So I didn't want to wait. So I ranked before, and I can easily, as right now, know I'll talk about that in the second quarter. I know where Donda would go in Kanye's rankings or whatever. Um, but this album, it'll take me a little bit more of listens to decide exactly where it would go as Drake's hierarchy. I'm a firm believer that Drake has no classic albums. He has some that's close and some that I can acknowledge the argument why some people would think some of his albums are classic, and I'm not gonna argue that. Me personally, I just don't think he has any classics. I do think So Far Gone is a far and away classic and far and away his best project ever. I'm not sure that many people would disagree with that. And that may be the unfair assessment for me, is that nothing has topped that or really came close to that sonically. So that's classic level. I mean, albums that are classic level, I think they just have to be put at a different standard than just run of the mill albums. So far, this would not meet that criteria whatsoever, but I do think it is really good. And as far as some people mentioning sound and him doing stuff over and over again and not experimenting and things of that nature. Why would he? I think it's goofy. I mean, and I think the only reason some people mention that is because Kanye did it and some artists do it. But normally, when artists go out and experiment, it sucks. And Kanye's all his stuff sucks. All his experimental stuff sucks unless that's just the type of stuff you like. Tyler Creator, that's his sound. So if you want somebody to go and make that sound that's not that person, I think it sucks. And then personally, you have to like it. So Drake does his formula. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he do his singing and rapping? Then he tells you a year ago or whenever he announced Certified Lover Boy was going to be called the title, you knew what you were going to get here. He's big on the women topics, and then he goes on his tangents of rapping topics. Then he has a banter, I guess you could say, with Kanye, or maybe it's a real beef. I'm not totally sure. I don't know if they may. I think they do have a genuine, possibly dislike for each other. I'm not totally sure, or if it's just for the numbers because they're both big and they're both watched a lot. And by them beefing, I think it helps both of them. I just do. So I don't know if they're coordinate that or not. It starts off. Drake does a really good job on most albums of entering them and exiting them. This is no different. Champagne Poetry is very, very well done, and The Remorse is very, very well done. Same thing with people talking about, oh, we've heard these type of songs before. Jay-Z's intros are almost always very, very good, and it's the same formula, and we all love it. But now all of a sudden in 2021, we just want something else out of these artists, which is weird. Michael Jackson made, in theory, a lot of the songs that have the same rhythm, upbeat, and ideal to him. And Michael Jackson would say the same word, phrase, or statement 1,000 times in the song, and we would say that's the greatest song ever. So I'm not sure where all of the back and forth with trying to sound different or making something different just so if they make something different they get bashed because it's bad, or even the rap space now, it's not so much different that you can do until it starts to turn, in my eyes, weird. I think you have to stay in the constraints of what you do in rap game. Now, as far as the features go, I think it's a few too many. It's a few too many features and a few too many songs. 21 songs, 86 minutes. I know I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort, but it's like making a movie that's 3 hours. Cut this baby short and then make a deluxe edition if you want to, or release some songs later on the back end, like pepper some more songs, just some releases later on. Cohesion and themes of the album, once again, I never thought Drake was ever good at that. He never made a album that went at a pace outside of, to me, I think his best project, which I personally think his best project is More Life, which is that it starts with the European sound, the UK sound, which I thought he did a really good job emulating, and that was the difference, and it sounded good. And then on the second half of the album, he transitioned back into the Drake that we all know. And I thought the two themes of that album made sense. More Life, theme, what he was trying to do. Everything else is Drake, Lil Wayne somewhat did that. He did early on this album. Lil Wayne was decent at putting together some kind of sequence, but I just don't think that's even necessary anymore. It's cool to have it, but most people nowadays just want to hear good music. If you tell a story in there or you follow some kind of procedure or cohesion, clap it up. All power to you. But we want good music. There's the Way Too Sexy, which I think is what most people are enjoying now. I don't think it's a good song. the Love All Jay-Z's verse is, you know, it sounds like Jay-Z's bored. I think he should, I just think he should stop. I know he loves it, but kind of like a basketball player putting up shots at the end of his career. I mean, you can go out and play some, you know, he can rap in his free time, but I mean, putting it out, everything's been really lazy and dry. The last few Jay-Z features. Girls Want Girls with Lil Baby is also another track that people are enjoying. I personally think the best track, far and away, is 7 a.m. on Brittle Path. And You Only Live Twice, actually. Lil Wayne might provide, outside of Drake's bars, probably the best verse in a good while. A lot of people just want to write Lil Wayne off because sometimes he does come with weird and outside the box stuff. But this one, he is solid on. Last time I mentioned Remorse and opening track Champagne Poetry, which are good. And then there's just good music in between. The Knife Talk with 21 Savage and Project Pat. Pipe Down solid. TSU is solid too. But these are all that Drake sound that I guess everybody is used to, that OVO sound, which once again, I think you do what you do your patented moves to win the game in any sports. You do what you're good at, and I don't see why you would change that. I mean, the beats aren't the same, the lyrics aren't the same. The process I get is, and the sound of it reminds you of something. But Michael Jordan shot fadeaways all the way to the end, and he's the greatest of all time. So basketball. So not sure if that analogy works or people want to hear that, but I think that's what it is. But overall, if he had chopped this to 15 or maybe even 16, I would have a whole different aspect based on which songs he obviously which song he's kept. I won't say right now because exactly how many are bad, I do think is unfair, as I think it's a good album, and usually my listening process goes, I listen a few times. If it's good, I keep listening. Then you develop that feel for the album, and you realize what's really good, what's kind of not so much. The other side of that coin is that I listen to an album almost every time, twice. If I think it's bad 2 times, I'm not going back or deciding which songs I don't really like. I'm just probably not listening to it ever again, or I know which songs I'm playing in the gym, because that's really the only time, or in the car. It's really the only time I'm just turning those songs on for a quick go. And also too, my opinion's a little bit, well, not really, but I do give stuff a little bit higher love if I can play it in the gym. So that's always going to be the case for me personally. That's a caveat that I try to take out my ranking system. Obviously, if I'm ranking it at a classic term, what's better than. But for me personally, taking outside of just what's really good, for me personally, if it rises in the gym, then it holds a lot more water for me personally. So yeah, Certified Lover Boy, it is absolutely worth the listen. I think most people enjoy it and listen to it for a while. So. Staying in that musical realm, as I promised, second quarter is the Donda review. That is the Kanye West album that I didn't think was going to happen. So I guess that's the best way to put it. It is his mother's name, I am pretty sure, or a reference to his mother's name. But that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about the album, the review of the album, and in that case, he looks like he's the producer on most of the tracks. There's some more people in there, but sound wise, it's gospel trap, I guess. Experimental hip hop. And again, that's that word, is that experimenting. Don't really care for that. Um, I thought Kanye has so much more left in Kanye music, and he kind of turned that back on in Life of Pablo, but he wants to go gospel, and this is mostly a form of gospel, and that's just why I'll never be able to listen to this in any kind of capacity. I Entertainment factor, there is some. There is definitely some entertainment factor, and sound wise, just coming out of just the sounds coming out without the vocals, a lot of these sounds would be good. It would be stuff that you would listen to and maybe like holding a good song to listen to. I don't want to make it seem bad, but it would be a good song you listen to, like you're holding, waiting for somebody, elevator music, stuff that kind of keeps you, entertained with the different sounds. But lyrically, there's nothing really here. I mean, it's, it maybe I shouldn't say nothing. There's just not a lot here to grasp lyrically at all. 27 songs, let's say 24 because it's three part twos. So 24 songs with just a plethora of features. A lot of the features are people just talking. Um, but I do like, because Kanye doesn't do this a whole lot, but uh, he puts the features on for this, so I don't mind it. Also, Kanye's just not in a rapping space anymore. That's why I don't know if it's actually the drugs, or I don't want to say drugs like that, but I don't know if it's actually his mental capacity or things like that. But he just does not have the rapping bars for hip hop anymore. So that it might be the reason he transferred into this gospel ish lane. So that may be the reason for that. So having features helps him. So there's that. Jail theme song is with Jay-Z. It's a song. It's something that'll play in like movies. There's a couple tracks like that. There's a couple songs in here that will, like I said, it'll sound well in environments. There'll be a lot of movie soundtracks from this. A lot of cut-ins of parts of these songs that will resonate in small spaces, movies, commercials, um, sports previews into, like, they cut to the commercials and the songs playing, things of that nature. That'll be cool there. But some of these just ride out. The one that really sticks out, I think, is "Come to Life," where I think he just keeps saying that for like 3 minutes. I slam the next button because I just can't take that stuff anymore. Especially when it sounds, he's not a singer and how he's screaming it at you and different. And he does that on there's multiple tracks that happens. I don't mind Remote Control. Um, Janya, I think it is. Okay, okay. Um, Hurricane's not bad with The Weeknd, Little Baby. I mean, I saw a lot of it on social media, but it's totally overrated in my opinion. Um, that Pop Smoke that television should not be on here. It sounds like it was recorded, and I don't even know. Keep My Spirit is solid. Moon is decent, but once again, this isn't. I don't know. This isn't for me, and I just don't know longevity of this. That's a lot of Kanye's work too. Is just the later things, they just don't hold. Um, his latest albums just don't hold. And I said, maybe, like I said, in the gospel trap space, just putting it in a different genre. People want to hear something a little bit different. That's the only way I think this really goes. But it's church music, and if anybody else, that's also what I when Kanye does this stuff, like if anybody else was to do this, this would be called trash. Plain and simple. Any artist he had on here, any artist, period, made this, it would be called trash. Give or take, like I said, some of these songs are good. Some of these songs are good and very listenable. You can ride to them, and it'll put you in a space, a cool little, like I found myself. I was listening to it in the airport and listening to it. I listen to it in the gym, which the gym gives me a lot of clarity with the music. And there's some songs that you can just see yourself just like, I can just have this on in the background. Like this is good to have on in the background. Like I can handle this in the background as long as it's, like I said, it's not repetitive chanting or things of that nature. And like I said, I don't know. Like I said, it's mental state as far as rap, but there's a demand for Kanye music, so why wouldn't he continue to put it out? I mean, that's how I look at it. So it is what it is. He's going to keep making music as long as people keep saying Kanye make music. It's just what it is. So overall, will I be listening to it often? Nah, I won't. But to each his own. All right, so that's the first half, and that's music reviews. That was a Certified Lover Boy and Donda. And halftime, as always, is a downer. But third quarter is when I get it on. Let's get it on. I don't want to go too long and far and hard into this, but I'm going to start with the American Football Conference or American Football, AFC and NFC rankings. Quick, just at first glance rankings. Not really. I mean, I know of all the teams. I know who's everybody on here. I might mess a couple up, but I think like the NFL exec rankings came out this week. They're on the Athletic if you want to check those out. But obviously, AFC, it starts with the Chiefs. I mean, at number 2, I feel like everybody's just putting the Bills there because they do somewhat belong there. Ravens losing J.K. Dobbins hurts a lot, but I really, really want to put the Ravens at number 2. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. After that is where it gets really super sketchy. Normally, I'd probably put the Colts here because they do have a solid roster. But Carson Wentz is just up in the air. So I'm honestly going to go Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Chargers at 4. And I just think that's just because they have all the players to get it done. I just don't know if it'll all come together. After the Chargers, I will put the Browns. And I really put the Browns in there right next to the Titans. I think it can be either or, Browns or Titans. Right after that is where it starts to get very, very, very iffy with all of these teams right here scrunched up in the middle. Normally I would put the Patriots here if Cam was still there, but I just do not believe in mac and cheese at all. So I'll go Dolphins next, and then I'll go. Did I go Colts? It should have been Colts next. Should have been Colts after the Titans, and then the Dolphins, and then I would go with the Steelers. Really, I probably should put the Steelers up there, but I'm super nervous about being. Super, super nervous about being. But yeah, Dolphins, Steelers, Patriots. Dolphins, Steelers, Raiders, Patriots. And then the Jags. No. Broncos, Jags. Broncos, Jags, Bengals, Jets, Texans. That's how that would go. I don't know if I can recite that. Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Chargers, Browns, Titans, Colts, Dolphins, Steelers, Raiders, Patriots, Broncos, Bengals, Jags, Jets, Texans. Pow! All right, so for the National Football League, I think it's just a little bit tougher here. Obviously, everybody wants to jump out the window with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not jumping out the window with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Packers are the best team in NFC, and that's just basing it off Aaron Rodgers bringing it, coming right back and being able to bring it. So if Aaron Rodgers isn't there, if he's spacey, yeah, Bucks are the best team. But from last year, that Packers team was better than that Bucks team, and they just choked it. So Packers, Bucks. It's Packers, Bucks, and then it's either Rams or Seahawks. I just don't believe in Matthew Stafford. I don't know. There's nothing that would tell me that he's going to. He's not better than Russell Wilson. So give me the Seahawks at 3. After the Seahawks would then go the Rams. After the Rams, I think that whole division is better than everybody else. So it would go Rams, 49ers, Cardinals. And I think all those are hot swappable, to be quite honest with you. It just all depends on the quarterback play of those teams. So how did I say? Green Bay, Bucks, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, 49ers is what I'm going to go. Cardinals, then 49ers. Then right after that, I just have to go Saints. I think Saints, then Vikings. Saints, Vikings. No. Yeah. Saints, Vikings, Cowboys, Washington, Panthers, Bears, Giants. Eagles, Falcons, Lions. So, once again, those rankings go Packers, Bucks, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, Saints, Vikings, Cowboys, Washington, Panthers, Giants. No, Bears before the Giants. So Bears, then Giants. Eagles, Lions, Falcons. Payow. All right, so as far as predictions, Ravens. I wanted to do a form of like playoff majiggy. Ravens over under 11. Over. Browns over under 10.5. I like that. Steelers over under 8.5. I'm not sure. Push. You can't push 8.5. Under, I think they'll get 8. Cincinnati under 6.5. The Chiefs 12.5. I think it's over. Chargers 9.5 over. Broncos 8.5 under. Raiders 7 over. Bills over 11. Miami over 9. Patriots under 9.5. The Jets under 6. Titans over 9. Colts under 9. Jags under 6.5. Houston, I think they'll probably get the 4, but I'll take under. And this was for, this was the AFC, wasn't it? This was just AFC. Where is the NFC? No, that's not what I want. I don't have the NFC one. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, I think I got it. All right, I got it. Cardinals 8.5. That's super tough. Say over. Seahawks. Think they'll get 11 Rams. Rams 10.5. I'm gonna say under. 49ers 10.5 under. Cowboys 9. I'll say under. Eagles under 6.5. Washington's 8.5 under. Giants 7. I'll say over. Green Bay 10 over. Vikings 9 over. Bears 7.5. I'll say over. Detroit 4.5 under. Tampa Bay over under 12 under. Saints 9 under. Panthers 7.5 under. Falcons 7.5 under. So as far as that goes, my prediction for, I'll just say, I mean, obviously, let me pull back up I shouldn't have got rid of that so quickly. I'm going to say the Chiefs going 3 times in a row is bonkers if that happens. But it's really hard to say they aren't going again unless somebody gets hurt. So I'm going to say Chiefs. I am going to say Chiefs versus the Ravens. In the AFC final versus, I believe it'll be the Seahawks. I don't know why. I just thinking Seahawks. Dallas could really get hot. I'm nervous on Dallas, but if they're hot, they might be there. But I'm going to say Seahawks and Packers. And it'll be Mahomes versus Rodgers, which should have been it last year. And Kansas City will get their championship back. So that's my prediction for the team stuff. So that's team stuff. Fourth quarter, I want to break it up because I didn't want to put it all in one because, So as far as player predictions go. I think the MVP will probably go to like Josh Allen ish. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to get it. I just don't. I think it'll go to like Josh Allen or Russell Wilson. Those will be my picks. I just think Josh is going to run it a lot. He'll get a lot of rushing touchdowns. I think his stats are just going to be really bloated, and they should be good. Um, Buffalo should be good. I think his stats will be heavily bloated as long as he doesn't get injured. So I'm gonna go with Josh Allen right now. I think he'll have a good year. I think Aaron will have a good year. I think Tom will have a good year. To be quite honest with you, um, you know, hoping everybody stays healthy. I don't know about Matthew Stafford. So quarterbacks, I think Tannehill will have a good year. Actually, I don't know about Matt Ryan. I was just thinking Matt Ryan will have a good year if their guys stay healthy, but I'm not totally sure. Um, Other team quarterbacks, I think Kyler Murray could have a good year. I think Sam Darnold possibly he's going to have some players now. So I think look out for Sammy D to show up. We'll get to hear from Tua. I'm not a believer in Tua at all. I don't think you know no shot for Tua. I like Herbie. I think Herbie's gonna be solid. I'm really worried about Joe Burrow. They're bringing him back super early from that injury, and then I think if Carson Wentz is healthy, he might play pretty darn big. Offensive Player of the Year is going to be, I think, very interesting. I think all signs point for me to Dalvin. He just gets the ball so much. And if he can stay healthy, I think Dalvin will have a monster season. I think it'll be a running back. I think it'll be Dalvin or Nick. I just don't know if Nick will get a cup. Nick Chubb will get enough catches. But if he gets more catches, I think he'll have a really good chance to have a lot of scrimmage yards and a lot of touchdowns. So I'm going with Nick or Dalvin for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, far and away, as long as he's healthy, I think Chase Young is the best defensive player in the league. I do love Aaron Donald. I think he's skill-wise the best player in the league, or skill, experience, all of that. But statistically, he just gets double and triple teamed too much. He's an interior lineman. He causes havoc, but it is all the stuff that's behind the scenes. And I guess maybe I said that wrong. I just think Chase Young will have a bigger impact. I think he'll be the better statistical defensive player. I think he's the most freakish outside of Myles Garrett. Like, those two are just something else in terms of getting to the quarterback, and with them being on the end, it just makes things. They cause so much havoc. So I'm going Chase Young, Defensive Player of the Year, easily. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it'll probably be. I would say Justin Fields, but I just don't know. Andy might come out guns a-blazing and just may not just have the yards to do it. So I just think off sheer numbers, I think it'll probably be Zach Wilson. He'll probably just be slinging it so much. They have confidence in him. They drafted him. So he'll be slinging it up and down the field, and he'll be running and everything. So I think it'll probably end up being Zach. He'll probably throw a ton of picks, but he'll probably have some touchdowns to back it up and rushing yards to back it up. So I'm going to go with Zachary on that. I'm not a believer in him, but like I said, I just think as much as he'll throw it, I don't think the story will be told on Zach Wilson mostly Zach. I don't think the story can be fairly told for Zach Wilson until he gets some guys around him. Just like I felt about Darnold, I think the story can be told until you get guys around him. So I think this year he'll be slinging it, and they don't have a running back. It'll be crazy for him. Hopefully he just stays healthy, like it would have been Joe Burrow last year. Defensive Rookie of the Year will probably. I also to back up on the offensive side, just to Kyle Pitts. I don't think Trey Lance will play at all. I guess he'll have some packages. Whoever, Mac Jones, possibly. It's a good chance because they got some guys, so they may get him up there. I think Kyle Pitts is just hit or miss. Najee, the Steelers are going to pass the ball. They're a passing team. They're going to pass the ball. Trevor Lawrence has a shot, and that's for defensive player, it all lines to Micah Parsons. I mean, it's his to lose. For sure, his to lose. But Patrick Surtain will probably give him a run for his money. So he's on the Broncos. And I think the NFL.com article I'm looking at I think it's accurate here. Jamin Davis, Tervon Mogrid. I forgot where he went to. He's on the Raiders. I don't even. What? I don't even know what position this dude plays. Free safety. Raiders? No, he won't make it. He won't be the defensive player. It's gonna be Pat Surtain or Micah. Comeback player of the year. It is all wrapped up for Dak, Saquon, and C-Mac. It'll be one of those three. They all were hurt. One of them is gonna have a big year. Could be Odell too. So Odell. Actually, all these guys were hurt last year, and they would be comeback player. It would be, Dak, C-Mac, Daquan, Nick Bosa, Derwin James, Odell. Those are the dudes. But I really think it'll be Dak, Christian, and Barkley, and I think Dak will probably get the edge because he's a quarterback. He'll just, as long as he's out there, he'll have more opportunity. But Saquon and McCaffrey, one of those are going to tear it up. They're healthy. One of them will tear it up. Coach of the year is just, it's not a player, but it's here, and I don't mind yakking about it. It can't be Andy Reid unless they go 16-0. It could be Sean Payton if he can, reel it back in from losing Drew Brees. Sean McDermott, I don't think he can get it. Everybody expects huge things out of the Bills. Brandon Staley is a guy that could get it. He'll have the best chance. I think Kyle Shanahan won't get it. I just don't think the Niners will be that good. So I think it's between Brandon Staley and Kevin Stefanski. Because if the Browns can win week 1 against Kansas City, the Browns could be on a trajectory to possibly win those 12, 13 games. If they get 13 games, Kevin Stefanski is going to be coach of the year. Brandon Staley, Chargers need about 11 wins, 12 wins. So 17-game season. So, yeah, and then this is a NFL.com article. Analysts picked, all of the, we got MVPs. Most people are saying Mahomes. There's Aaron Donald here, Offensive Player of the Year. Somebody has Tom Brady up here. Alvin Kamara, didn't even talk about Alvin. I think Alvin's year is going to be super duper tough unless, Sean can work in, those plays for him. People with Mac Jones down here for Rookie of the Year. I only see one. I see a Kyle Pitts come back. I see some Nick Bosa. Most people are on a Dak and McCaffrey bandwagon. Nobody really believes in Saquon, which I think could be Saquon for coach. I see a Robert Saleh in here, which is tough. I see a Bruce Arians here, which would be just super tough for him to win it too. So NFL season is going to be super exciting. Fans are back in the building. The players are ready to play. Preseason turned out well. Only had a few injuries. Injuries are part of the game. Injuries are going to happen. Big players are going to go down. Teams have to have people to fill in and play well. So predictions are just fun. It's just what people do, but you never can account for injuries. Injuries can throw a monkey wrench in all the predictions you make in the world. So mine's the hold ups will be cool. So I can look back February or maybe not February, January, 4 months, 5 months from now, and say, hey, I was on the money with some of these. So that is episode 25 of Play Some D. Once again, like button, smash it, subscribe button, clack, 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 clow it, turn them post notifications on. And yeah, this was all music and NFL. This was all new music and NFL season cracking up, and Donda review, Certified Lover Boy from Drake, NFL team predictions, which is a team sport, so I wanted to separate that out from players. Players is just this extra stuff that just makes them extra money. No one player in the NFL can win it all. You got to have a squad. So the NFL team predictions are what I was really focused on. And then just with so many integral parts of MVPs and everything looks so, maybe obvious, but there's other people that just going to sneak in and catch your eye this year, because guys will be ready to play and win this year. So I think it's a little bit more motivation for everybody this year, for sure. Especially seeing Tom Brady win at that age. It's like, man, if he could do it, we could do it. We're young, and so it's fun. 25. And as I always do, be safe, be cool, and into the next one, I holla.